Who would have thought a movie about a wrestler that doesn't make the fans or the people that wrestle look like idiots and fit into old stereotypes from the 80s? Huh. What up, everybody? It's your boy D. I got another episode of the DA Experience for you, and I got a review. Anybody who knows me knows I am a avid wrestling fan. AEW, which is about to start, WCW, WWF, which is now the WWE, ROH, NGPW, all of that. I've been watching since I was a kid. Used to watch with my dad on Saturdays, and it stuck with me my entire life. So when I heard that they were actually going to be doing a movie about a wrestler and the actual wrestler's life, I was pretty excited. And they picked the perfect person to start this out with. This movie is done by WWE Studios and it's produced by The Rock, and it's about wrestler Paige. The funny thing about Paige is the fact that her family, her entire family wrestles. Her mother and father, her brothers, and herself. And she's been doing it pretty much her entire life. It's a good story called Fighting with My Family, and I like this movie a lot. It falls into some of the sports movie tropes. It's very formulaic. The story involves her and her brother, who are both picked by WWE to audition, and instead of picking her brother, who her family sees as the one that was going to be the star, Paige is actually the one that has to do it and has to leave her family and come to America, and she has to deal with the fact that a lot of the other girls don't look like her. She's the very anti-diva. If anybody remembers about 20 years ago when they had the Attitude Era. She's not blonde. She doesn't have huge breasts. She doesn't fit that fitness model cheerleader vibe that a lot of the other wrestlers at that time period had. She was a little bit darker. Her skin was pale because she was from England. She had jet black hair. She had she had an edge to her that you hadn't seen before. And as this movie went along, you learned to like this character. It starred Lena Headey, aka Cersei from Game of Thrones, Nick Frost, who a lot of people remember from the Coffee and Cornetto trilogy, like Hot Fuzz and At World's End, and my favorite, Shaun of the Dead. It's directed and written by Stephen Merchant, who a lot of people have seen in other movies. He's pretty tall, and it had a couple of guest appearances by The Rock. Let me tell you now, if you are looking at this movie, looking and thinking you're going to see a whole bunch of The Rock, what you have seen in the trailer is what you get. The Rock is probably in this movie, even though he's on the poster, I think, he's in this movie for all of total 10 minutes tops. But when he's in it, it's actually really good. Nick Frost does great in this as her dad. There's a lot of emotional weight when they need to. What the problem it falls into is that you could tell there's more to this story, that it goes a little bit deeper, probably dealt with some drugs and some family issues and things like that. But because it was produced by WWE and it's a PG-13 movie, it's way too family friendly. There's good family friendly, and then there's just like cookie cutter, let's play it safe family friendly, which is where this fell into. I did like the parts where they showed the wrestling and gave you a look at how they actually sometimes call matches on the fly, or a lot of the culture about, like, if you mess up, they have something called a receipt where somebody hits somebody back to let you know, like, hey, don't make that mistake again. And it showed her vibe of trying to get with this crowd and fit into this new style. It's totally different from what she was used to. I just felt that there was a deeper story, and as an avid watcher, I actually know how her career had gone. So there was a little bit of revisionist history going on of what actually happened. If you do want to see like her actual debut or see her when she was in NXT, I prefer you probably go look at the WWE YouTube page, or just YouTube any of her matches and stuff. She had already gained a lot of fame. It may look like she came out of nowhere, but it is a really good story. I don't think you need to go to the theater to see it, though. If you're a wrestling fan and you like sports movies, this is the first time you've actually seen something like this. I do give it a nod for not making wrestling fans look like a bunch of idiots. I'm looking at you, ready to rumble. It actually comes at it with a lot of heart, and it shows that while it is entertainment and it is, as they say in the movie, fixed or predetermined, there is a lot of passion and athleticism that goes into these matches. I look forward to seeing more movies based on other wrestlers, hopefully like an Andre the Giant movie, or Eddie Guerrero. There's even a Hulk Hogan movie in the talks now, with Bradley Cooper playing Vince McMahon and Chris Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan. But my thoughts on that are something for totally different. Hulk Hogan is not the best of lights to me right now, and just go read some news articles and you'll know why. But I did love this movie, and I will probably watch it again if it came on video or something. You did not have to see it in the theater. It's about an hour and 45, hour and 47 minutes long. But it's still a interesting story if you ever want to see the inside workings of how matches are called and how wrestling actually works from their point of view. I hope that more movies do come out like this and they go a little bit deeper with it. They give it more of emotional weight and show more of the story. This one was more of a like, let's set the tone. This is our first time doing something like this. And I hope that others do these movies, but they don't have to have the shackles of WWE having to keep their image a certain way. So if you do like wrestling, if you like the WWE, you probably like to see this, but you don't have to rush out in the theater to see it. If you like sports movies, this definitely fits into that formula. Girl gets her dream, girl realizes her dream isn't what it's supposed to be, girl has to overcome her demons and her issues to strive to become better. It just, at the end especially, like the last 30 minutes, they kind of just ran through everything and you're kind of like, well, I know there's a little bit more to it than that. But it's like, okay, we did this part. Like the whole downturn and her turmoil part lasted way longer than I think it should have. They should have done more with her learning about her friends and stuff like that. And if you're looking to see any WWE cameos in this, I'm going to spoil it for you right now. You got The Rock, you got Sheamus, you got The Big Show, and you got The Miz, and then you got Selena Vega playing AJ Lee at the time that they filmed this. So that's about it for cameos you'll see in the movie. Other people are like, if you know who they are, you can kind of see them in the background being played by the people, but they never really go too deep into it. That'll do it for me. I'll see you all at the movies next time. Here's hoping it's a good one. I'm out. Peace!